Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. Tarot Mom here, wanting to do readings on hurricanes this year, wildfires. Although we are moving into the winter months in the U.S., so wildfires in the U.S., well, we still have some time yet, but after a while they'll be decreasing. Of course, in other parts of the globe, they're moving into their summers, like Australia. So let us see. First, hurricanes. Now, I did a reading on Friday, and I never published it because, by the time I got it uploaded, sometimes it's the next day I publish it, sometimes it's 2 days later. And I had said, I do see one for Louisiana, not knowing about Ida at the time. And then turn on the news, and there's Ida. And I'm like, oh, there's the one for Louisiana. That's a biggie. Okay. I could look in to see how rescue efforts are going for Ida. It is now Monday night, so the death toll will be growing. And Ida, I was so sad when I saw that there would be another experience that, wasn't quite Katrina, but, hitting Louisiana again. Yeah, very significant. And that's been Ida. There's another one for Louisiana yet coming, but a weaker one. Okay, let's see. Okay, so for Louisiana, and our hearts and our prayers are with Louisiana. Oh, we have, interesting. Oh, I must have reversed my deck at some point here. Okay, or maybe not. Yeah, I must have. That's okay. Okay, so the tower, oh shoot. Okay, well, the tower reversed. That's an event that changes things. So unfortunately, what I'm seeing here is even though the area's been reinforced and levees have been reinforced and such, it didn't change things enough in how they deal with hurricanes. So we do still have too great a human toll. And they're not learning. So it's almost like, there needs to be better evacuation procedures. This one came relatively quickly, so a lot of people weren't able to evacuate. But yeah, the press, it's like people have kind of gotten tired of talking about it. They need to. Louisiana needs New Orleans, that whole area, that whole Gulf area, that whole Gulf coastline needs a lot more planning, a lot more modification. The transportation needs to be more streamlined. It's like there's not a lot of money for it, so nobody wants to hear it or something. Okay. Ida, how are people doing? There are still people to be found yet. Right. The flooding. The flooding is still an issue then. Yeah, areas that are flooded out and looking for people. So that continues. There's news we don't like. I wonder if that's more rain, actually. 10 of Wands. Yeah, I wonder if that's more rain, actually. 10 of Wands it's very burdensome. So it's just quite a cleanup. Yeah, what about the death toll source? Well, and then I hear right away, well, that's hard to figure because there's also COVID going on, right? And so how many people, didn't get into the hospital when they should have, didn't go into ICU, had to be moved, how many people didn't get the care they needed because of this hurricane, and that contributed to their death. But completion, okay, well, we'll know fairly soon. But yet this Temperance angel, what is that? What is the World card? Because the Temperance angel wouldn't say fairly soon, right? That would have said gradually, we'll know. It's very emotional. What's that World card mean? Ace, okay. There is emergency help coming in pretty quickly. Okay, well, there's that. So that's good. All right. Yeah, of course the death toll rises, but again, I don't know that we get a full death toll, because how do you count numbers of people who passed because, of other things that they normally wouldn't have passed of those. So there's that. All right. Oh, and this does mean too then that this does not help the COVID outbreak, because there's so much more, contact with people gathered in emergency settings, shelter settings. This does not help that down there. Okay, so our prayers with New Orleans, that's for sure. And anybody who can go and help, has Godspeed. Okay, now I wanted to ask too about Florida, about the Gulf Coast in Florida and the Keys. What do they look like this year for hurricane season? Now, I do have to tell you guys that this is pretty general information. I did a reading on this earlier, I believe for Patreon, and I saw an really early season storms, but those were tornadoes. Those were tornadoes. They were not hurricanes. So, just with a grain of salt. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because a lot of times I'm getting fairly general information. Okay, so for Florida, Ace of Swords, very much like last season, Six of Cups, Sunshine. Okay, I like that. Ace of Swords means to me that there will be notice given, like they will be fine. It won't be that these are coming out of nowhere. Ida was pretty quick, but the ones coming for Florida this year will be identified well in advance. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a season a lot like the last season then. Yeah, very similar. And they did have some hurricanes and some storm surge and all these issues, a lot of issues with water. Is there going to be any super large storm with high winds? Seven of Swords. You know what I feel like that means? I feel like that means more like there will be some death associated with storms this season. But there's agreement and good decision making with their emergency services. More like the Seven of Swords, I feel like is more like more hidden issues threatening Florida, and that could be continuing, the Delta variant continuing with COVID, but also that could be just more water, more rain in other ways from other sources. That things kind of converge to create trouble for Florida is what I'm getting. The Seven of Swords can also be the way too many things are mismanaged, although I do not feel like the hurricanes are going to be terribly mismanaged. But sometimes I'm pulling cards for an area, and I feel like sources talking about all the issues happening in that area. So this is that. Okay, so, but it looks like the storm season, much like last year. What about for Puerto Rico? What about for the Bahamas? Any island nations that are going to have trouble in that area? Well, delay. Okay, maybe we should ask again in a couple of months. The Magician, manifestation, yeah, then this gradual. Okay. Yeah, not quickly. Maybe we should ask again in a couple of months. Not to say they don't have anything, but I'm talking big storms. Not quickly, but maybe we should ask again soon. Okay. What about the Yucatan Peninsula? I always have to ask that for Alma. Hello, Alma. Alma's a patron. Okay. Yucatan Peninsula. All right. Well, we have the Hermit. We have the Ten of Cups. So now that I asked for Alma, I see her relatives whom we've spoken to a lot in group mediumship readings on Patreon are telling her that they will let her know. They're gonna light up her intuition. They're gonna help. Ten of Cups is often we're a family. We're complete on the other side, and Hermit is often we have a message from the other side. Okay, but Ace of Wands, opportunity. Okay, I don't see. These are not bad cards. I don't think for the Yucatan Peninsula. Yeah, but then again, we have that delay. We have Sun. Okay. Yeah. So maybe not a lot of, maybe not so much water. Okay, but then again, we should probably ask in a couple of months. And then 6, I don't feel that though. For this, when I'm saying that for the Yucatan Peninsula, I don't feel any, I don't feel like any shadow looming with that. So, whereas I kind of do for some of the island nations. Okay. Oh, people worry, but I don't think for any good reason. I mean, I think people understand and they know what to do. Okay. And let's see about wildfires. Okay. We're still having so many troubles with that. In California still, although much it's better. How's that looking? Yeah, it's just sad. Grieving. Yes, the law steps in. They need emergency funding. Yeah. So it's sort of like almost in the aftermath. Yeah. Now we have had a lot of wildfires too in other areas that usually don't have them. In Canada. We got the 10 of coins, but yeah, this is saying, yeah, but it is unusual to have them so much. So, I mean, you can expect that they will be getting better and not such a problem. But wait, we do have drought then, still locked up in some droughts. So, got to watch it for next summer, I think, as well. Okay, what about Australia? What about Australia, New Zealand? Let's see, 6 of coins. So they've already had some rain. I don't know, I haven't looked into it, but they've been given a little. The 4 of Wands, their government is really watching this, but the Death card. Well, that means there will be a significant one, at least a significant one. The Lover's card, and maybe that's more than one location. Okay. Yeah, there's the Death card again. Okay, guys. Yeah, it looks like Australia has at least one really bad one. Part of Australia that had some rain, so not as, but I don't know. They must have drought over there. I'll have to look. So, yeah, we've got what source would you say to do for those in Australia? New beginning. It is something they're going to deal with. New beginning this season, but there's a new beginning. Their strength, of course, they'll endure. I feel like they are much more prepared to evacuate. Yeah, they're much more prepared to try to keep people safe. They're much more prepared this year. So there's that. Okay. Well, there's more. There's so many different areas, and I hate to neglect any of them. But that's what I'm being led to read on right now. What about drought in general for the areas that are so struck with drought? Ace of Swords, right? Source is trying to give an information like, hey, this is yet another sign that we've got to worry about climate change. Yeah, 6 of Cups, we're going to keep on having troubles with drought on and off in those areas. It's just going to keep going. Okay, the Nostalgia card. Yeah, because the ground is too dry, and we are now locked into some issues because of climate change, or we think we are. With that 8 of Swords, we can change our ideas, we can change the way we're looking at it, change our plans, and step out. But yeah, 6 of Cups, and that, of course, How's anything going to change if nothing changes? Right. All right. Well, we do know that things will change. I know that things will change. The question we have to ask ourselves is how much pain will it take? You know? Yeah. But I do know things will change. And I do really firmly believe that technology will save us. However, not from all of it, right? So, yeah, more of it than we would imagine. I'm hopeful about that, but we should be hopeful, but we should also be realistic in our current reality, because we're not there yet with those technological advances that are really going to help the climate change issue. So keep on praying and believing and being informed and living like you are. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye-bye.